Same for Rare Atom. They always ban Kalia, but sometimes, for some reason, they just let it through.
But boys, it looks like the time is now and we are ready to get into our first game of the grand finals here at the Wildcards Best of 5. So everything is on the line. Endurance will be put to the test. Leo, Gideon, take it away.
Indeed we will. Welcome to the Best of 5 Championship, the finals in the wild card of the Mid-Season Cup 2025. Virtus Pro on the play, Rare Atom going for the double. There goes the 1-1 and the Baksha, while Rare Atom bans out the Farsa. Kimmy's still at large.
Kimmy is still at large, but all of the picks that we've been talking about are already started to get, axed out very early on in this draft. Farsa being one of them, Baxia being one of them. We didn't get to really touch on the Wanwan, because again, when you're comparing both gold laners, as much as the mid lane has such a tight hero pool, I feel like both Super Gorka alongside with Mikey are very well positioned for the meta. Irithel's something that Mikey has shown that he's very proficient in. Both are decent at Granger as well, and I don't think that the gold lane is going to get pinched on too hard unless we see some of the bigger signals like, oh, we're banning an early Moskov. That means they want to show off an assassin.
Hey, there's one hero that you're not mentioning that might be a definite priority for Dawn or Badcott, the Phoveus.
The Phoveus. Here's the thing, right? This is really interesting because as situational, some may say he's situational, some may say he's a little too good. But at the same time,
I think he's
right,
the latter.
I'm going to agree with you on this one. I do agree that he is part of the latter. The Uranus does get banned out in this particular case, but the Lucas has been especially interesting when I look at Dawn play, because I feel like Lucas technically shouldn't be in the position, find much success in the current meta. But the fact that he has Flicker, the fact that some teams group up a little too close together, I feel like Dawn, he's got inflated stats on this Lucas.
The one win and the one game that they played the Lucas, it was meant to make prey out of the Uranus, and it did. But now the Uranus is banned, I'm not so sure if Rare Atom is going to be prioritizing that just yet. First up, Virtus Pro pick in the Kimmy. The answer by Rare Atom could be any of the following: a Fredrin, a Zetian, since mid lane might get a little choky here. You can save Zetian for Red 3. You can also prioritize the likes of is it just me or is Gatot getting so much more prioritized now?
I think that Gatot usually coming on in as a direct answer to, hey, you feathered airstrike. If you do get Kalia, we have an immediate way to kind of respond to you, even if you aren't standing next to the victim, right? Now, as you mentioned, Zetian gets locked in, but at the same time, Rare Atom, they decide, you know what? We're going to go for the Lancelot. They didn't want to go for the deny pick Fredrin. They are expecting the Fredrin coming up for the side of VP.
Yep. They're allowing Andoryu to go ahead and pick it here. Blue 2 and 3. What else do they have to pick here? Since they do see the Lancelot, I wonder if Virtus Pro are floating the idea of either the Phoveus or the Hilda here this early on.
Ooh, an early Hilda. This could be dangerous, right? Because again, the EXP matchup has been such a pivotal point for either one of these teams. Badcott has had some really good games. Dawn has some devastating games. And even when we see it, they're going to completely avoid the Fredrin entirely. They're going to go assassin per assassin, Hayabusa alongside with having this Phoveus. Do we see a CC here, or are they just going to play for their comp?
Rare Atom could also just throw in the Esmeralda here and play a blind second phase. If you do that, then you all the more make Virtus Pro questions like, all right, they locked in, they answered our picks roll per roll. What do we do now? This is very rare. This does not happen in the current meta at all. Usually you see one roll kind of swerve out. I'm worried about the gold laners. What's left? Moskov, the Granger Irithel trade, the Harith,
the Bruno as well.
Bruno is safe. Carry as well, sitting at 100%, especially since the Hylas got picked now. So Rare Atom, this is definitely a Cat 9 pick. Like,
oh yeah,
this has Cat 9 written all over it.
Well, let's not count it out just yet, because again, it's a pretty flexible option. Dawn can still pick it up to try and get some dominance, assuming that real solo, some dominance, right? Because again, in the earlier stages of the game, Hylos does an obscene amount of damage in the laning phase, especially when you're playing Phoveus. We've seen many times throughout Southeast Asia as a potential answer to that laning phase while still providing a lot of utility in those team fights. But now we go into the second part of the ban phase, right? We see the Cho from the side of Rare Adam. I want to see whether VP is considering a couple of counter pick options to ban out, like the CC.
Yeah, Rare Adam has banned the Cho in about 70%, 60-70% of their games in all of the wildcard. Virtus Pro, they're the ones who don't want the Hilda. Again, they could have floated it, switched between that or the Phoveus. So they want to protect Andoryu in case Dawn wants to get a little cheeky and invade early on. Rare Adam, what else did they choke out? Choices for Pluto. Pluto previously played an Arlet, a Gatot Kacha. He's also played a Florin and a Minotaur. Man's played half a dozen heroes in the wild card.
He has played half a dozen heroes, and I think so far the big issue is, okay, Pluto must work with Bober in mid lane, get that early dominance, and maybe look to make that early plays that we've seen them do so many times within the wild cards. Clear up that mid lane fast, quickly invade towards the strong side of the map, and maybe alleviate some pressure from either EXP or gold, depending on who has the winning lane. Arlet, very good ban from Rare Adam.
That's one of the heroes that Pluto has shown off. Won with it twice. The final ban for Virtus Pro, Coach Solo. All right, I guess this is just as clear a ban because you never know. And Lucas is good against the Phoveus, especially when people clump up. And when the Phoveus jumps into team fights, you leave that backline open because Phoveus is already in too deep. Dawn can punish hard. That's what Coach Fly Solo here, that's what Virtus Pro are reading into. They agree. We got to ban Lucas. And there's the carry. Still sitting at 100%.
They want an answer to this Phoveus, making a hard read that VP wants to get another tank.
Mind you, Rare Adam has yet to play a carry. They know in practice what it does. We've seen it win 3 times already in the wild card. But here's what's interesting, Gideon. They've banned it a record twice. So if they could have attacked the carry, but no, they picked it for themselves. Now this opens up Virtus Pro to get the Gatot Kacha, and of course, wow, how often this happened? A late Zushin.
The Zushin came in very, very late. I think Rare Adam was expecting it to come anyway. That's why they were already looking for things like Lancelot and as well as Tien.
Hey, Swerve, is this the first Kimmy gold lane we've seen all wildcard long?
Oh, you're actually right. Yeah. Now that I think about it, you're absolutely right. Kimmy finally utilized as a flex pick for the first time within this wild card to kick things off for our very first game in this best of 5.
Okay, I don't know how to feel about this. Again, I'm just theory crafting on the fly while we wait for Rare Adam's 5th pick. There's a lot of damage we're expecting from Bad Cut. That much is true. I don't think Andoryu can carry the brunt of all of this by himself. Now Rare Adam locks in that Esmeralda, Dawn's signature Esmeralda, played a record 3 times, won every single time in their run here in the wild card. So some habits just don't die. This is who they are.
This is truly who they are. I mean, the matchup is going to be interesting. I would like to see how the EXPs is going to play this out because, again, a lot is riding onto them, not being an anchor, but still to try and put a wedge between the team fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, the drafts have been locked in. Locks have been drafted. This is a best of 5, so best believe we're in for a long one. We have never seen a Virtus Pro lock horns with Rare Adam. Yes, there was a crossover, but not between these two teams, not between these two wildcard hopefuls looking to make it into the group stage of the mid-season cup. Welcome to game number 1.
What a way to introduce our top 2 teams from the wild cards to really show what this matchup is all about in a best of 5 to make up for the lost time of not being able to battle it out. Early on, Cat9 is going to get chunked out, especially when Bober is making sure that Cat9 is forcing out his Revitalize so early on in the game.
Bober. Here you're saying, right, Hylos can deal in a disgusting amount of damage, oddly enough from a tank early on. What a way to counter it, then by exposing it to so much magic damage. Oh my lord, Lanaya put down a half health.
No
Haufu
surprises.
answers back. This is fine. Pluto's gonna recover. Pluto's going to regenerate off of random targets, skill vamping away. Now, looking at the emblems, how do you build gold lane Kimmy? This is pretty similar to just normal Kimmy.
Well, it is. It's extremely similar in a matter of
Jimmy.
fact. And I think that the only thing that Super Gorka has to be aware of is when Mikey hits level 4, right? Keep in mind that this is still Master Assassin. If Mikey can catch him off when his passive is down, he can get an immaculate trade against him. He's running the flicker, and same goes with Super Gorka. But now we see first fight actually breaking out here, and Doryu gets locked down, quickly takes the quad shatter out of there as Pluto and as well as Bober picks up 2.
Whoa!
That's it. Pluto finds it with the help of his passive. Now that Dawn is here, he's looking for a trade back, and he should find Pluto just in time, but here comes Endoryu as well. Can they chunk him out enough? Vengeance already popped. Oki Shadow Kill's coming through, and there we have it. They found one, and he might even get another, forcing out the Revitalize out of Cat Knight. Endoryu backs away. I'm sorry, Mr. Horse. I'll take a step back.
Multiple decisions Andoryu needed to make. Took the long way around to have extra cooldowns on his shurikens, but he was put down to an inch of his health. So did not want to push the issue there. This does put Virtus Pro about 1,000 up. They're 1 kill ahead of Rare Atom as the turtle spawns. No one from the Chinese squad close to the neutral objective just yet. This looks like a clear take for VP.
It should be pretty easy for them, right? Virtus Pro, full control over what they wanted in the map. They've traded well, they've traded up, and now 1,300 gold ahead of their opponents. Where are they going to start bleeding that pressure, right? Because Pluto and Bober, they've done these early engages before. They've invaded the enemy jungle. They have a rough idea where Lanaya is going to be, and it looks like they want to apply that pressure towards the gold lane.
All right, finally we get some action in the gold. XP lane has been moving around. It's really a race of who can get out first. Dawn got 2 on him. Lanaya to the rescue.
Oh, they're trying with Phantom Execution, forcing Backhot to flicker out of the way. That's a battle spell down for the side of Virtus Pro. No resources being expanded for the side of Rare Atom. Keep in mind, I mean, the Phantom Execution, pretty short cooldown in retrospect compared to the Oki Shadow Kill.
1,500 gold between these two squads. Now just about 1,000. Rare Atom making good moves. Again, they feinted the weakness up top, allowed for the failed rotation down bottom. Again, forced that flicker away from Badcott. It will be out of commission even until the second turtle, so Rare Atom might go ahead and try to contest. Trying to steal away this small camp from Lanaya. Lanaya sitting at level 6. Still at equilibrium with Andoryu. Like, this is not stopping his farming pattern just yet.
Rare Atom's composition allows them to play off of a really big snowball, but at the same time have some pretty decent scaling at the end of the day. So whether they are ahead or behind, Rare Atom, they've got all of those roles covered. Virtus Pro, on the other hand, do they scale as well? I mean, Super Gorka can deal some damage, but he's really dependent on everybody else to do well. Bobber, Badcott, on top of Andoryu, and I would say especially Andoryu.
Interesting choice for a first item, Super Gorka, building the concentrated energy. So I'd reckon he knows he's in for a fight early. Maybe after this first turtle, second turtle, I think he'd want to be part of it. This is where it spawns. Upper quarter. Cat 9 sandwiched by 3.
Now they're going to get right on top of Cat 9. He's going to get picked up, pulled back in. The passive from Super Gorka still active here. He can maintain the energy charge with the help of the turtle. And this is honestly really good for Virtus Pro, right? Rare Atom need to respect Super Gorka because Kimmy is so deadly early on. They're going to take it slow. Pluto holding on his top. Glorious Pathway comes out for the side of Cat 9. Then drops her, catches all 3. And now Dawn with the AOG in the back to slow them down. Palfu, he needs to run. Lanaya as well. They make it out of there. Super Gorka finds one in Cat 9. And Dawn is left to dry. The Vengeance is good, but is it good enough with the help of the damage of Palfu? Dawn gets knocked back. Caught, takes the kill.
Way too much sustainable damage. Whether it be through skills or right clicks, Virtus Pro convert through the roof, taking down that mid tier 1, a main artery, making narrow even more Rare Atom's window to farm. Suddenly they're up by almost 3,000 gold, and a good chunk of that is, believe it or not, on Bober. Bober, what is this guy made of?
He's made of steel so far. In the meantime, it looked like Lanaya wanted to chunk out Pluto, but again, the early game from Virtus Pro is just so much better than Rare Atom, right? Everybody from Gothot all the way to this Kimmy, early to mid game, you just don't have the base damage to compete with these type of heroes.
Super Gorka picking up his Sky Piercer. Pluto now on that Thunderbelt.
Wow.
This is a very good position for Virtus Pro. They can keep pushing the advantage, giving Rare Atom not the easiest time at all in farming, because the fact that you see Pluto, and the only way you can tell if it's a real engagement is via an ult from Palfu. that makes it very difficult for Adam. That makes you question if it's safe for Mikey to farm. And that's one of their main ways to make it through the mid to the late game. At least Mikey can scale up. Cat9 dropping the Glorious Pathway here.
Oh, they're even dropping everything. The trigger has been pulled. Now, with the AOG to try and disengage Cat9 as well as Dawn are in a lot of trouble. The damage is just not there as Super Gorka untouched and doesn't have to worry about anything. Doesn't have to worry about anything, but here comes Andordio, finds it, isolation and taken out by Bad Caught. Virtus Pro deny Rare Adam.
Again, it's a understanding of who's the beatdown. I think Rare Adam misread the situation, saying, hey, look, there's an isolated 2 or 3 from Virtus Pro. Let's do it. Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, wait, there's 4 more coming. And then Andordio from the flank. And instead, they lost out. Not just on bodies, but even the turret, plus the turtle. Everything is going Virtus Pro's way. And Andordio, he's feeling himself, picks up a Sky Piercer.
That's how you know that they are that far ahead. They've already developed a 5K lead in the back pocket, right? An insurance policy. Dawn, he is not scaling as well as he wants to, especially with the snowball developing further and further for Virtus Pro. Pluto, he's going to take his time here. I think Rare Adam, it's a problem now that Super Gorka has been unlocked from his lane. With all the T1s missing, we can see that Lanaya is trying to split push on the opposite side to at least fight back for the economy.
And this is in an effort to let Mikey farm. Give resources to Mikey. He's your only real out. I think the whole Dawn gambit is out the window. Super Gorka left his lane 2 minutes too early. Virtus Pro are playing in the late game now, even before the 8-minute mark. So with that, the lead has grown up to 5,000. Mikey just built his golden staff. And here's the thing. I think Rare Adam are struggling to get Mikey into position to matter. Cat9 is just too soft. Dawn is too soft. The Vengeance only has so much cooldown. Oh, Shadow Kill!
I mean, the Shadow Kill is almost good. RNG not in favor. It's going to be Lanaya who gets out, but they did have to use Cat9's Revitalize to just for some kind of guarantee here. Based on what we were seeing from the items, I do notice that Lanaya actually going for the Malefic Roar. Super Gorka, what a hefty purchase here. Holy Crystal already completed. He is going to be cutting through the members of Rare Adam.
And this is a blessing that Matt. Oh, Andordio gets caught underneath the Glorious Pathway.
Forcing out the Quad Shadows. Mikey here should be able to secure this kill. No problem. Nicely played. Rare Adam find one, but the T2 down by mid-side is going to collapse under the pressure of Virtus Pro. This is how they've been playing, right? They can play that 4-in-1 style that we were, well, I would say we were expecting from early on into the wildcards, but only deployed now.
And that was, one could argue, a way for them to push mid-tier 2, but they could have taken their time. Now Rare Adam has the numbers advantage.
They're going to try. They're forcing the scenario here. Pluto and as well as Backcall, who, again, just too strong with the lead that Super Gorka has. That Vengeance is only going to buy you 3 seconds worth of time. You're going to get melted down.
So apparently the numbers advantage equals to 5,000 gold. A single hero is 5,000 gold. Rare Adam could not push the advantage. I could have sworn they were looking at Virtus Pro. There's only 4 of you. There's no way without Andordio will you take this fight. Virtus Pro says, nah. They push him out of the Lord Pit, send them back to their only lane that has a tier 2 up top, and now Rare Adam has no choice but to Ube. They are sticking to each other, clumping up, allowing Virtus Pro to score a Lord uncontested.
Let's see how Virtus Pro is going to try and close this game out. Because again, a big problem we've seen for a lot of wildcard teams is when you have a lead, how do you convert that into a game-winning scenario? How do you break the base?
And there's but one time Virtus Pro struggled to do that against Influence Rage. That is their game 3 in that best of 3 series. Took them about 19.5 minutes. Now we're looking about halfway that. 10 minutes in. Holy Defense is still standing. Bad Gut waiting to get the signal to jump in. No one yet under the spell of Bober. And they pop the Holy Defenses.
All right, popping the Holy Defenses. That's a good start here. We're past the 10-minute mark. And I saw the items. Holy cow, Super Gorka already has 4 items complete. A Sky Piercer being one of them, and even a Divine Glaive. So even your Radiant Armor won't mean anything. Traction Pulse, AOG comes out through, catches 2, however, forcing us with the Fury of the Phoenix, guarantees one of the frontliners. Falling Star Moon catches onto 3. Lanaya quickly with Thorn Rose gets on out of there. He gets pulled back, still able to dash out. No, Bobber catches him. Sky Piercer active. Mikey takes Bad Caught. Mikey is looking for more. Super and Gorka takes them out. Another inhibitor will collapse.
2 for 2, a little messy. I'd reckon Virtus Pro's reading the room and saying, oh, we might overextend. Cat9 still alive.
Oh no, Andoryu is forced to take the shadow back. Mikey makes the play with the help of Cat9.
Rope-a-dope. Rare Atom used the high ground to their advantage and got a kill onto Andoryu. Again, I think it was more beneficial to take down Bad Caught. There was at least some bounty on him. But to slow down Andoryu's snowballing, that is also key. He is up 2 levels on Lanaya. I wouldn't even dare to think how much gold is between them. They're still looking at about a 6,000, 5,000 gold lead. Damage dealt, though. Look at Don.
Excuse me?
It's
How?
costing him a lot, though. This is off of the back of his constant dancing around and constant use of vengeance.
I agree, but at the same time, well, it's rather shocking that he's almost 10,000, like 9,000 ahead in terms of raw damage.
But he does also top the rankings in damage taken. It's a matter of quality, quantity versus quality. Now, Cat9 dropping the Glorious Pathway, all in an effort to just help keep the purple on their side.
And Virtus Pro, they understand, as long as we don't interact with you, we take away your economic, we maintain our economic advantage by ensuring that you starve in your own jungle and put yourself in dangerous positions by walking out to the waves.
Like a medieval castle siege. Time is on our side as long as you're not getting resources. Rare Atom, despite the win in the bottom lane, despite the punish, are still struggling, still going around the map as a 5-man coalition. In comes the AOG!
Powerful, getting hit and taunted as well. Traction Pulse doesn't connect on anybody, but here comes the Fury of the Phoenix to slow down Cat9 as he drops down the Glorious Pathway, but the backline is already dead. Super Igorka is going to take him out one by one, but that vengeance is costing him. Mike just cost him his life. A double kill already, but it's just too late. A triple and a double for Super Igorka and Andoryu as they look to close out game 1.
Clean wipeout by Virtus Pro, first to the board in a best of 5, 1-0.
Woo, what a way to start the game.